Yo, welcome back to Blazy B, where I'm Blaze and I'm B. And I just want to talk about some stuff, This is what this is about. And today, I want to talk about shit women don't talk about, which is basically everything about our bodies. And it's kind of crazy to me how much even we don't know about our own bodies. I mean, truthfully, I feel like I figured things out. Yeah, I know how it works physically, how the facade is, but deeper how things function and stuff. I mean, seriously, how our bodies work. And there's so many things men don't know. I had a friend ask a group of us girls, hey, does this really happen? And okay, the comment was, if a girl is sitting down, also, I should preface this. If you're a TMI human being, GTFOH. Yeah, we're gonna go deep. Turn it off at any point, but you got this. You go through this. We're just gonna talk about it. So here we go. Okay, so his comment was, hey, do girls actually, when you are sitting down, think about those ladies, when you are sitting down and you need to fart, guys, I feel like they just kind of lift up and go out. Okay, fine. I got some chunky cheeks on me. It's not, if I go up, what's that gonna do? Still trapped in the cavern. So, if you're sitting down and you gotta get one out and you kind of slide it out and then it bubbles up and it's sitting in your vulva vagina, right up in there. You feel it and you're kind of okay, here the game of pinball goes, because you don't want to pop it. That's a fart bubble, but you need to get it out of there. But you're sitting down. Where are you? You might be in class. You're sitting down. You need to kind of push it out. Best case scenario, you kind of get it up. You move it. Literally think of it as a little pinball, and you kind of push it out and up, and you squeeze your lips and you push it up top and you kind of pop it up in your clitoral area in that hood. And we don't talk about that. Obviously, this man was baffled that this could happen. And it makes sense. You're sitting down, you have air pockets come out of your body. Where do they go? They get trapped. You got to move it. As a dude, you're not close to your body in this point. You're not trapped in there. So hilarious. That's what we don't talk about, is how that happens. We don't talk about queefing at all, which I find funny. I feel like the yoga community is just very well in tune with that. You are upside down, you are making different things, your body is going up and down. It's going to happen no matter what. Your body lets out air, right? I feel like it's it's degrading to talk about a queef or a fanny fought if we're in a different part of the country. Or the world, I guess. But what's the beef? What's the beef? It's literally, yeah, a fanny fart. I like that terminology. So we don't talk about that. I guess we don't really talk about, I feel like men are just a little more openly, we're supposed to be ladylike. We're supposed to keep these things contained. We are this is a behind closed doors thing. So of course we're not going to talk about it. It's we don't even do it, right? We don't poop. Girls don't poop. It's whew, baby, watch out. That's going to be a rude awakening. Yeah, no, we're prim and proper. And so things we don't talk about, and which then leads into deeper things a fart, whatever. We don't need to talk about that. It doesn't matter. Do you, dog? But birth, what to expect, what periods are how we transfer that information down to younger generations or even around to different women. People think things are normal. Everyone thinks they're normal. And maybe they've been going through something. Maybe they've been bleeding for a month. That's not normal, but they think that's their normal. They don't know the dip. You know what I mean? We don't talk about it enough to know what is. And I guess we have Google at our fingertips, right? but you don't know what to ask until it's brought up. Like certain things, I'll be in a conversation with different women, and something they'll say something, and I'm like, oh my God, I would have never, like, I didn't know what menopause is like. Some lady described it as like torturous, but then you're free. Like you get up to this point and then you go through hell again. You go through these hot flashes. You go through, your body is going through so many changes and it's getting rid of things. And then you're free. You're free of that. You have no more periods. You have nothing like holding you back. You are not going to get pregnant. You can like live your life freely. What like a thing to think about. I feel like people think when you hit 50 and you hit menopause, like your life is over. Nah, you feel more free. Like I'm looking forward to that. These periods are something fierce, and mine aren't even bad. I am very thankful to have very mild periods. I mean, I'm talking like very mild periods. But in high school, I did not. Like when they came on hot. And I got my period when I was like 11. So I was young. I was the summer after fifth grade. So I was going into sixth grade. It was the summer. And so I was like the first of all my friends. I felt like cool, but also like it's like, oh, like I don't want this to happen to me. I don't want to be at school. And I swam. That was another thing. I swam. People usually get an introduction to pads. Mine's like you need tampons because you are going to swim. You need to go in a pool and you can't just wear a pad. So you got to nut up for a tampon, right? Totally, fine, whatever. Tampons forever. Now I use a Diva cup. Since Peace Corps, Diva cups have been the best. Diva cups. One, I've had a singular one for I think 5 years. So it's great. That's how great it is. Sustainable and useful. So use that. Also, people don't talk about period blood. People don't talk about period blood at all, which we kind of should. Like, again, we don't know what's normal until you kind of know it's normal. Like you know it's normal, but like it might be a different color than someone else's. And I feel like if you had a thought about that, but we're not even trained to look at these things. Like you think your period is a disgusting time where you're just expelling a massacre and you don't feel good and you're moody and you just want chocolate and you don't want to talk to anybody and you just want to be home and no one's like treating you with the respect that you need and your tummy hurts and you have to go to work and it's just like it's too much. It's like so much. The fact that we go through this on a monthly basis for a million years. I mean, talk about being free after menopause. Like I get it. But you're doing all these things for this period. And fuck, I don't even know where I was going with this. That's how my brain works. That's what you get when you get Blazed and be together. Period blood. We don't look at it. We're ashamed about it. We don't want to see it. No one wants to see it. It's like the worst thing. Then like people free bleed. Like when I'm at home, I don't put anything in. Why? If it falls in my underwear, great. I can wash that later. I don't like why deal. It's just like a lot. But looking at that blood and knowing that that's new blood or old blood or what is coming out of you, and it may be like you have something else in there and people don't know what they have in there. That's the thing about tampons, that it doesn't give you, like, it soaks up into this cotton thing and then you don't see anything, like it's kind of in there. Yeah, a pad too, it just like soaks up, kind of coagulates on top but not much. But that cup, you dump it out. You kind of feel that consistency, and how much blood you expel is so interesting to me. I mean, just me in general. Okay, I'm fine, cool. Uh, but it is. I mean, what we go through monthly, and then this is basically, we're expelling non-fertilized eggs, right? And so then to have a baby and you lose that period for that amount of time, that's crazy. That's crazy. Granted, other things are coming out of you. But okay, birth. We don't talk about birth. Things, again, we don't talk about. And then when your friend gets pregnant and you're like learning things, like everyone learns about pregnancy when they're pregnant. I feel like not many people go into it being like, oh man, like I grew up with women that were pregnant, and I got to see this, and I got to be a part of this. Like, no one kind of has that village mentality anymore, so we don't get to experience other people, like through other people's experiences. Um, I mean, personally, yes, right? Um, can't speak for everybody, right? But I have been to two births now, home births, and they were incredible. And I learned so much. Like, I did not know what I did not know until my friend got pregnant and asked me to be at the births. And so, like, I don't know how this goes, like how like how everything works, and that you give birth and then you have to give birth to something that's kind of a bit bigger than that. The placenta is freaking massive, and you have to like birth that out too. It's got to come out some way, shape, or form. So, okay, that. And then I didn't realize that your body has to like contract afterwards, right? You are contracting, you are having these surges through your body that are moving. Well, I mean, it's like all energy, right? So you're moving and tightening and pushing something out. And now you have all this lining, you have all these organs that you have moved, you have expanded, you have pushed around, and now they got to come back into place, right? So you have to contract again. You have to feel those surges. You thought you were done with that when you gave birth. No, 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 no. Your body needs to come back and tighten back into place into its normal setting. Yikes. And like that's for just a vaginal birth with no drugs. Like you got to come back from an epidural. That's going to, hurt your spine, right? So you've got like pain to recover from. You've had like a, outer surgery at that point. A C-section, that's a whole other thing. Like that is a major surgery. And then you're like expected to go back to work. Like you can't lift 30 pounds for 12 weeks. What? What? You just had a baby and you're supposed to take care of the toddler and this baby and like do life, and you're not supposed to be walking around and not lifting anything 30 pounds? Dude, high expectations. That's crazy. And we don't really talk about it because it's kind of just like we accepted that it's this mystery. That's this like crazy thing that when you're ready, you're ready. And it's going to be great because you have a great partner. And I feel like, yeah, okay, cool. You've gotten to that point. You're like, yeah, let's have kids. But there's so much more to it. Like, do I need to be at a hospital? Are there other options? Is it legal to have a home birth? That I didn't realize is illegal in many of states. Do you have different birthing centers? Like, do I have a birth plan before? How does this work? What if my doctor's out of town? Like, I didn't, these are a lot of things you got to think about. And ways your body moves too. Like you are giving birth, right? Your body is opening up. Oh, and the fact that like pubic hair is even a thing, like that we spend so much effort on our pubic hair is just so dumb. It's so dumb. Like why? Like a guy that's not doing that for you. So come on, come on. And then excuse me, you go into labor and they're gonna like shave you because that gets in the way. Excuse me, that you are opening up so wide. There's like that's not even in the path. You won't even see it. LOL. Like what? These weird things that we do in society. Like we're just prim and proper women. Um, but yeah, birth and how your body moves to open that up, how your hips shift, how your body expands, how all these things happen when you have a baby or you get pregnant, and your body's not going to bounce back like it used to, right? We still don't like talk about that. I feel like in our minds we think we can always get back to that high school like look, that high school body. It's like, dude, you weren't even fully developed yet. Like absolutely not. No, 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 no. But there's like a whole thing to it. I do find really weird though. Sorry, I've got a weird tickle in my throat. um, I find so interesting. We talk about birth control the most. Birth control is such a conversation everyone wants to have because everyone's got like cool trinkets and they like it so much. They like want to talk about it. It promotes itself. Contraceptive promotes itself. I used to have Nexplanon in my arm like for years, probably like 7 or 8 years total, because I had 2 rounds of it. And the last time I just kept it in longer because honestly, I just didn't want to make the appointment because I was debating getting birth control again. Like, do I want to put my body? I had the pill in the beginning, and then I switched to this. Then I thought, oh, maybe I'll get like the IUD implant inside of me, like uterus area, and then I'm like, I don't want any of that in my body. Like I just don't. Um, and I made the decision to not have anything. So I've been off birth control for over 3 years now. And I feel like my periods are just chill. Like I'm vibing and I know what to expect. I know how my body does. And it is on that cycle. I am back into not like falsifying my cycle with something in me. And I feel like that's really cool. And that's another experience too. I feel like people like women as like when you get pregnant and you're off of your birth control, then you have to go through a ton of different changes in that way too. Like that's regulating your hormones. And it's just so interesting how like people feel different things and I feel like we kind of blame them on different things, but it might be different things we're taking like contraceptive and then we don't talk about it like, hey, I'm on this, but my cycle is very very weird. Like how is yours? Like no one wants to compare their actual experiences, but they're like pumped to tell you what birth control they're on. And so it's hilarious. It's so weird, honestly. What else? Oh, with this recent pregnancy, I had no idea about mucus plugs in pregnancy and how it's like a lining slash shield. It's like a power shield between uterus and outer world. So you have this like plug and it's like and it's made of mucus. But you like lose it and it comes out. It's like breaking the seal, right? But that may mean something. Baby's coming, may not me. And you regrow that mucus plug, that seal, that lining. How cool is that? You can regrow so many of it. Like it continues to protect. It's like, well, maybe we're not ready yet. Back in the oven. And then we create that thing again. Our bodies are just so cool. I mean, you don't talk about it. And it's like, why? Why don't we talk about it? It's so cool. Um, Yet now, there's like this fear and there's this mystery behind birth and the female anatomy. And then everyone doesn't want to talk to their mom about it because that's like too much like mom talk. But then you never know what to bring up with your friends because you might be in a different position with your friends. You kind of like wait for someone that's very vocal and weird about it and like very open and tell their story to say something. And then people are like, oh, well, actually, and then you get the conversation started. But we don't get that opportunity much to kind of like spark up that conversation. Like right now, we should just talk about our vaginas. Everybody talk about it. That's another thing. Everybody's scared to be naked. Like their wax appointment is the biggest like man, like they want to prep for their wax appointment in a way. They're like this is where it matters and this woman's going to make me just the most beautiful vulva in the world, right? Which I love a good wax appointment. It feels incredible in my opinion. But like we who else gets to see that? Like who are we doing this for? Like for me, I go through ebbs and flows, what I want down there, and it's all on like what I feel like and what season it is. If I'm in feral girl fall, like let's go. But summer times I'm always out and about. I'm always in a swimsuit. I'm always half naked. And so it's like, clean it up just for myself, right? But I feel like most women, they go to these wax appointments, they get a full Brazilian, they feel great about it. Their man gets to see it. He barely even notices. Um, but then they're like too afraid to be open with their friends. Like, these spas, these naked spas. What? Like, I want to know more women that are like, let's go. I want to go. But people are nervous. They're nervous to be around their friends in the nude. And it's very interesting. And I hung out with these awesome human beings. These, like, I don't want to call them wooks, but at the same time, they're just litty titty Durango bitches. And they're a group of friends, and we went up into the mountains, and everyone went to swim, and we all got in naked. And I am like a very comfortable naked person, but there's always doubts in my head, like, oh well, I should like damn, like damn, they're rocking, like I should like, meh, meh, meh. And then I'm like, this is what I look like. If you don't like what you see, like, you turn away. This is not on me. Like, at this point, I would rather be free and feel the breeze. I would rather pee outside and have the wind just like go through my legs. And feel nature and just be nude. And I know that a lot of people do not feel that way. That scares the living shit out of them. And then to be around people and then be naked is a whole like other anxiety that lives within them. And I just think it's just like being in a dance class or a fitness class, and everyone is worried about what they look like, and in reality everyone is staring at themselves. Everyone is very vain. You're going between you, because you're worried about yourself, because everyone is worried about themselves, or the instructor. No one's staring at other people. They don't give a shit. They are caring about what they look like. And that's the same with being in the nude. Like, everyone is so nervous. But then when everyone like releases it, and then there's no comment to be heard, and you're kind of like, okay. Like, okay. Like, what's the difference? Like, I feel great. And no one's going to criticize your body. Like, it's your body. It's not theirs. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. But and then to just see how different every woman looks in the nude and appreciate that in itself. Like, everyone looks so different, and we have these expectations of like porn in general. Like, you need to have these crazy big boobs, or these like implants, and then these tummy tucks, and then these fake. And then you see like the real deal, and someone, like, everyone expresses themselves through their body. Like, you feel what vibe you're putting off. You know what I mean? So when I'm naked, I feel the most free, and I feel like it like radiates awesomeness. It's like I'm untouchable at that point, and nothing you say or will you look at me like, okay, I am in my element. And so, yeah, we don't do that enough. We don't dance naked in the woods enough. Get yourself a friend that you can go dance naked in the woods, because it's an epic time. Um, yeah, or a naked spa. Like, that's even just a challenge in itself, to like bring yourself to go someplace that is, the public are welcome, and you go in, and then you have to get naked in front of other people. Literally, these people will never see you again, yet we are so scared of what they would think. Why? 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 It doesn't even matter. It really doesn't even matter. You, like, they have no interest in your life, and I have no interest in their life. What does it matter what we look like naked? It's like, well, um it's crazy. So we're like scared to be in the nude, and then we're nervous to give birth. We're nervous to do it. And it's just all this like fear. And it comes down to me, is like not being open and talking about it. Like, this is what this looks like. And this is what it looks like on someone else. And it's still the same thing, but on two different human beings. And yeah. So this is kind of a long one. Kind of went on a little rant, but just had a few things to say, because women don't talk about it. So if you want to talk about it, hit me up. Let's talk about it. Um, yeah, what more should we dive deep down into? Because I'm down. The relationship with my vagina is a big focus in my life right now. Actually, I'm trying out this Well, I'm kind of being coached by a friend who's in a course about vaginal kung fu. And so I'm learning all about loving my vagina and staring at it and vagazing and looking into her because she is like my power source. So I'm on a vulva vagina kick. So if you want to go deeper into that, let's go. But let's talk more about this stuff. Let's be women. Let's bond over that. And guys, if you didn't know half of this stuff, now you do. It's fun stuff to know because, bodies, humans, we're pretty friggin' cool.